In the quiet town of Beriktown, a chilling mystery had captured everyone's attention. Over the last few months, a young girl named Anna had been acting strangely. Anna, who lived with her parents, Megan and Steve, rarely left her room and spent all her time with a peculiar clown doll. Her parents were deeply concerned, but could not decipher the reason behind her unsettling behavior. Meanwhile, in another part of town, a 15-year-old boy named Robin had a terrifying encounter while walking home one evening. He claimed to have seen a sinister clown in the shadows, its menacing grin etched into his memory. The next day, Robin went missing. The town erupted into panic, and a police investigation was launched. Tragically, Robin's lifeless body was discovered hanging from a tree, his face painted with clown makeup. The grotesque scene left Beriktown in shock, and whispers of a murderous clown spread like wildfire. As the news of Robin's death dominated every channel, the townsfolk were gripped with fear. Among them was Johnny, Robin's best friend and classmate. Johnny was visibly shaken by the news, recalling how Robin had spent the previous evening at his house before heading home. She and Johnny's father left shortly after to visit Robin's grieving parents, urging Johnny to stay indoors. But Johnny couldn't tear himself away from the television. He turned it back to the news, only for the signal to suddenly cut out. The house was plunged into darkness as the power went out. Moments later, the television flickered back on, and to Johnny's horror, the screen displayed the same sinister clown Robin had described. The clown's chilling voice echoed through the room. "Hello? Surprise, surprise!" As the clown cackled, the lights in the house flickered violently. Then, in an unthinkable twist, the clown emerged from the television screen, laughing maniacally. Elsewhere in Beriktown, Anna's parents grew increasingly worried. It was already 6 p.m. and Anna had not returned home from school. Her school day ended at 3 p.m., and Megan knew something was wrong. After checking with neighbors and learning that all the other children were home, Megan called Steve in a panic. Steve immediately left work and began searching for Anna. The chilling events unfolding in town made their fear even more palpable. When Johnny's parents returned home later that evening, they were met with a horrifying sight. Johnny's lifeless body was hanging from the ceiling of their living room, balloons tied around his neck. His face bore the same grotesque clown makeup as Robin's. The second brutal murder in Beriktown sent shockwaves through the community. Officer Gerald, a highly regarded detective recently transferred to Beriktown, took charge of the investigation. Despite his experience solving high-profile cases, Gerald found himself baffled. There were no fingerprints, no witnesses, and no clear evidence except for a handful of strange balloons with eerie faces drawn on them. The clown makeup on the victims' faces haunted Gerald. Determined to find answers, he ordered his team to gather information about every clown in the city. As the investigation continued, fear and suspicion gripped the town. Parents kept their children indoors, and the once bustling streets of Beriktown grew eerily silent. Amid the chaos, Steve and Megan received a call from a friend who claimed to have seen Anna heading toward the Beriktown graveyard. Inside, they discovered Anna sitting on the ground, crying. Her face was painted with a red smile that stretched unnaturally across her cheeks, and black paint smudged around her eyes, mixed with tears. Megan rushed to embrace her daughter, trembling with fear and relief. As they led Anna out of the graveyard, she glanced back. In the shadows, she saw the same clown that had been in her room. It waved at her with a sinister grin. Anna remained silent, staring blankly at the clown. Suddenly, a bolt of lightning illuminated the graveyard, revealing the clown's true form, a terrifying, grotesque figure that seemed otherworldly. Steve and Megan hurried Anna home, their hearts pounding with terror. Back at the police station, Gerald received a breakthrough. One of his team members burst into his office with information about a clown connected to a tragic incident years earlier. The officer showed Gerald an old case file detailing a traveling circus that had visited Beriktown. During the circus's final show, a performer dressed as a clown had died under mysterious circumstances. Witnesses claimed the clown's spirit had lingered, seeking revenge. Gerald delved deeper into the file and discovered that the clown had a fascination with children. It was said that the clown's doll, a cherished possession, had gone missing after the performer's death. Gerald's heart sank as he realized the connection. Anna's doll. The pieces began to fall into place. Gerald theorized that the clown's spirit had attached itself to the doll, using it as a conduit to enact its vengeance. Anna, an innocent child, had unknowingly become a pawn in the sinister game. Gerald immediately ordered his team to locate Anna and her family. Meanwhile, at Anna's house, strange occurrences continued. The family's lights flickered, and faint laughter echoed through the halls. Anna sat in her room, staring blankly at the wall, the clown doll nowhere to be seen. Steve and Megan tried to comfort her, but their words seemed to bounce off her vacant expression. Just as Gerald and his team arrived at the house, a blood-curdling scream erupted from Anna's room. They burst inside to find Anna standing in the center of the room, surrounded by floating balloons. The clown's grotesque form loomed behind her, its eyes glowing with malice.